you get. Now I'm just having fun with you, but there is money to be made, and you know, thank God, there's a lot of money out there.
Oh, I know another thing. One last thought is there's a guy. He's even a little younger than me. He's in Texas, okay. And he has a channel. It's called Make Money Mowing. I'll put the link to it down in the description.
Nice.
His channel is taking off like crazy. He mows yards there in Texas that are pretty small and pretty flat, and he has just a little Chevy 1500 pickup truck. And the reason I mention it is because he has this, not the new one, but just like the commercial one though, the old one it has. Okay. He has that handheld blower and a string trimmer, and he it's cool. He goes through, he shows each yard, shows how much he made. You know, they're $50-$60, whatever.
Excellent.
And he's able to, he shows like how he makes like $600 in 5 hours or something with one push mower.
Yes.
One weed eater, one hand blower.
See, no, guys, this is a blessing. This is something I did not have when I started, and that is YouTube. I did not have people showing me the money. I had one person, my cousin at the time, and we were both working for this other guy, but somehow my cousin knew the money he was making. And it was supposed to be taboo, don't say nothing, but it somehow, but anyway, my cousin told me, and it showed me that, hey, this guy's actually making money doing this. This was back in the 80s.
Another cool thing is it's really cool is so he does an excellent job. You know, his customers like it because he mows with this.
Good.
And well, the cool thing about it is he keeps raising his prices, and because people love his product, and he really works on his Google reviews every day. So when someone Googles lawn care in his town, his name is above all the other big companies and all that. And he has 3 tools. That's all he has. No trailer, nothing.
Excellent.
Very low overhead. It's super cool.
Excellent.
And he can make a lot of money in a short time, which is it's really cool and really efficient and really impressive. It's cool. That's what his channel is all about. Every video, and it's
I think if I could do that, if I was a little younger doing that, if I put that in a van, and there was one time I did operate out of a van, and I liked it.
Yeah.
Because you can put all your tools in there, you drive up, kind of you know, you got security, you know, you don't have to worry about stuff getting stolen as much, stuff don't get wet, no trailer. Just take the van with this piece of equipment. You could, if you were in when I was even in Atlanta, we did it. That's when we did it, and it was like a lot of smaller jobs. This right here, the van, and you could really have a tight little program right there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options when you got just this, you know.
Right. I mean? And that's the cool thing about he has these little, he has 2 like a 2x6 or 2x8s with a little metal plate on the top so it can lay on the tailgate.
Yes.
And he has this more and just push it up there.
Yes.
And he has a little trimmer rack right behind the back window of his truck.
Yeah.
You know, his weeder hangs on there.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I mean, he's able to make a lot of money fast, even faster than probably we are. It's just something about it. You know, we have a lot of weeds and slopes, and got to pull big trailers and the whole bit.
Right.
It's super cool, you know, because you guys don't feel like, you know, because some guys feel like, well, I live in this town with small yards and it's not rich people, so I don't have as much opportunity or something. But rich yards doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna just make a 4x money. It doesn't mean that.
That's right.
You know, because you can still, you know, there's a lot of guys on YouTube doing these tiny little yards, takes them 15 minutes. They're still charging $35-$40 for them, and they're boom, boom, boom.
The big thing is to it's hard to steer a car. And when I was young, there was a saying, it's hard to steer a car that's sitting still. And back then, steering, you know, was manual for a lot of the vehicles. Half the vehicles when I was little still had manual steering, and so if it had manual steering, if the wheels weren't rolling, if you weren't rolling, you had to steer it like this, you know. And so point is that if you'll just get out, you'll learn how to communicate better just by failure. You'll fail, and here's something that I would, if I could turn back time, I would have always kept more of my options open. Like, I got these customers, I got full, I didn't seem like I was getting paid a whole lot, and I just put my head down and just kept working. I would have kept at putting out more advertising and kind of flowed through and learned more how to communicate sooner than I did. I did it, but it took longer. Like, now with the internet and all this stuff you're talking about with this young guy, it's great to have this communication with technology and all. Stay in the water. You learn to swim by being in the water. I would just keep you know, just keep your mind in there and keep this thing going with the communication. And me and Tony have talked about even getting rid of some customers. It's been hard. It seems so hard to get the ones we had, but some of them aren't really as profitable as maybe others. So just, it's interesting as the conversation gets to the round table here, how you're doing that. How are you managing the people you got? And how are you getting more people? I mean, this guy, he's doing that. He's working the internet, which is excellent. He's servicing his, you know, his reputation on that internet, which is awesome. That is awesome. But how is he, you know, how's he doing how's he pricing it, and how are we getting more for what we are doing? It's just always something to keep talking about. It's never, it's a conversation that will never end.
Well, you'll have to watch his channel to figure out, because he tells everybody how he does it.
I like it. Well, I like that he's doing it, and I'm glad the conversation's on. And my point is, they didn't have this.
Yeah.
This was stuff I kind of learned just with a jaw set, and I never quit. I just didn't want to go to work for someone else, and I knew I wasn't making a ton of money, but I knew other people weren't going to pay me what I was making.
Right.
So I stayed in. But it's great to have YouTube. I mean, you guys you've got such a sea of information that was not there when I was young.
Right.
I mean, you just had to be this entrepreneurial, just jaw set type to do it years ago. But now you guys got this information. If you're smart, you're taking advantage of it. And a lot of you guys are making a lot more money than I did when I was young. And it's because you got the information. And I'm proud of you, because you know there's a saying: if you learn, you earn. And you guys are willing to learn, then you're going to earn. That's awesome. Good to you. That's cool that you guys are doing this YouTube thing, and I just think it's great.
Yeah, and I mean, information's out there. Still only like 2% of the people actually, you know, look for the information, actually take it in. There's another 80% of landscapers don't even...
They're doing like I did.
They're going home, they're watching comedy or whatever, and drinking beer or whatever. And, you know, this is... there's a lot of good stuff out there. There's a lot of great podcasts I listen to through the day, which y'all know about that. I mentioned all those. A lot of guys, my friends, there's a lot of things. But you'd be surprised how many people, they know it's there, but everybody goes on YouTube these days, but they don't watch that. You know, if you look at statistics on YouTube, I mean, 80% of people, even landscapers, they don't even want to watch lawn care videos, because
you know, when I come across a lot of landscapers through my week, and I tell them about YouTube and tell them about your channel, and I'm amazed how many people don't know about it, and how many, like you said, a lot of people are not going for the information, believe it or not. And meaning, whoever is, you guys that are tuning in, you guys are I'm really excited about how you can just grow rapidly, like exponentially, compared to most people that don't have the information. It's great. It is a great thing for you guys that are students. I guess you never stop learning, and those that are being students and tuning into YouTube, you guys, sky's the limit. You're gonna blow me way out of the water with your money, and a lot of you guys already have. You younger guys already. I'm in the dust compared, because of the information you got. I'm excited for it, and I think it's great. And my hat's off to you. And I think it's a great thing to do. Keep the hammer down. And one thing I would say, I'm 52 now. I've been in this business for over 30 years. I would save 10%. There's a saying that save 10% of everything you make. Just put it away as you're making it. Just put that 10% away, and then. What we do, we're believers, we give 10% to the church, and then we live on 80. You live on 80%, so you're always saving, you're always paying yourself, and by the time you're 52, you can go down to 2 days a week, or just start easing off and have more options. So the saving is key. It's always going to help your posture. Like when you ring the doorbell and you're doing an estimate, if you know you got $30,000 in the bank, you don't know, you don't need this customer. You kind of know that. So there's something to saving. Saving will help you make more money. And you just think about that, get on, bounce that concept around, but saving will make you money. And it's because it's your attitude. It comes through in your attitude. Your posture is different. If you're real desperate and you need the customer and they can sense it, you're kind of almost at a disadvantage.
Right.
Don't you think, Tony?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I say 15% is what me and Emily try to shoot for. Good. What we want to save.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent.
Because you know, when I'm 70, I will not be able to do 53 yards, and that's another thing that all of us young guys, we have to think about that, you know, because
that's right.
Because that's coming, whether we want it to or not, you know, and so even you're at 50, you're in great shape, but you know, another 20, 30 years from now, things are going to be different. And same for me. And we don't want to get to that time, and we still have to try to somehow grind out these yards and stuff.
Right.
You know, or like you're saying, if we want to, hey, you know, that's what I plan to do. And I'm that age. Hey, I'm gonna go out and mow a couple days a week. I'll enjoy it. You know, I won't have to have as many. You know, I only have to have, you know, certain money, and then the rest of the week, you know, I can help with ministry, do other things.
Right.
And if the pressure's off by that point, then we've been smart. So
here's a basic too, that as we close, here's a real big basic. When we do an equipment video today, our tendency is to go get equipment. Be careful that you don't get your equipment before you get your customers. Get your customer base and make sure you're getting cash flow and you have the money. Then go buy this. Tony bought this with cash.
Yes.
What a lot of people have done is they've gone out and bought trucks and they bought all this stuff on credit. Now your posture's messed up when you're dealing with the customer.
Right.
If you will get the customer first, then go get this after you know you have the cash flow, life goes well. It kind of fits. And other than that, you're kind of almost you're almost gambling. And some people are better with risk than I am.
Yeah.
And some people still win at this. But I would say if you're, in general, to keep your blood pressure right and just go out and enjoy this, go ahead and get your customers. Get your communication right. Figure out how to do your hair. Cut your hair right. Do the things. Dress appropriately. Do whatever it takes to communicate with that customer and get your cash flow. Then go buy your stuff. Then buy it. Don't do that in reverse, because I've seen a lot of people could not. They could not make it. They couldn't make it because they didn't build the maturity in their the way they related to the customer and even themselves, to the point where they went out and bought a bunch of stuff and they had to fold. They folded because they just couldn't stay ahead of the grade. I hope that for you, with all the information you got on YouTube and all that, just go get those customers. Pick up that phone. Pick it up. Pick up that phone and get those customers. Line them up.
Right.
And get so many customers that you got to fire some to keep the best ones. Then go buy your equipment. And pay cash. I mean, that was cool.
Yeah, that's what they talked to us about. Julio on the podcast, he was talking about, you know, you can go down to a dealership and get a mower in 30 minutes. You know, don't worry about that. Just go start advertising first. Because he said literally it takes 30 minutes to go down and buy a mower.
Right. And they'll sell it to you.
Yeah, they're ready. They're waiting for you.
That's true.
So, but think about how cool that even a mower like this.
Yes.
That's what this guy, you know, I don't know exactly how he did, but let's say you bought a used one of these, a commercial one, but not this version. Let's say you bought it for $800, just like I just sold my other one.
Your Toro.
You have, even homeowner, or even like I said, the commercial one, you get those about $800 used. The residential ones, you can get around $500 used or whatever.
That's excellent. Yeah.
So let's say you bought that for $800. You can cut some small yards. You can go in gates. You can also cut some bigger areas. You know, when you're first starting out, you have a few yards.
Yeah.
You can still do big areas, because I still do it with this, like when my other one breaks and different things. And then let's say you got a $150 handheld blower, and you got a $200 weed eater, and that's really all you need to start. That's it.
Yes.
Yes. And even if you don't have a truck, you know, you can, which all of us guys always talk about this, but you know, you could make a little hitch on your car. You can put it in your car. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to be real creative at first, but... And old pickup trucks are not expensive. They're cheaper than these mowers. I mean, you know, you can get an old truck that's that only has a few dents on it, you know, to get one that's kind of straight. And, you know.
Well, let me say this. This will be the last of this, but it's related to what we're saying. Years ago, I had a mentor of mine say this to me, dress up with your attitude. And it's real important that you understand this. That if we talked about the hard part in this business is getting the people and then communicate with the people, but the biggest part is what's your attitude like. And I always say, no matter how you look, especially if you don't think you look right, if you don't think you're dressed right or you're a mess, and do this works. You do it everywhere you go in life. Dress up with your attitude, because if you have a good attitude, people won't notice the way you're dressed. Have a good attitude. if you're willing to do that, say, I'm going to dress up with my attitude, you watch. You test it like I've tested it. It has been one of those like revelation things, or like these like things that just blew my mind, and it really does. Dress up with your attitude. And Tony knows this. You know, if your customers, they really want to know you have the right attitude. That's first. Just have the right attitude. Get out there and just, you want to serve them. You're a great servant. You're kind of happy. You're glad you're in business. You're glad that you're not at Walmart handing out stickers or holding the door and testing people's temperature right now for COVID.
Right.
I mean, come on, man, this is exciting. You get people, it's contagious. Your attitude is contagious, good or bad. Dress up with your attitude. That's what he said. Now, this is a multimillionaire that was he was in a janitorial business. And this was a man that was a multimillionaire at the time. Dress up with your attitude. And I thought, man, he's got what I want. I'm certainly going to follow him. And it paid off. And I'm to this day, if I'm having a bad day, I don't let my customers know. I dress up with my attitude. We're moving out. And that's what Tony does. Tony's doing that. He's dressing up with his attitude. And you guys are helping him with his attitude. I mean, just having someone to share with about this business helps keep your attitude right. And but Tony, the comments I get on Tony is his attitude. And that'll pay, it pays the rent. Let me tell you, it does more than that. It pays the profits. It pays, you buy brand new lawnmowers. So, you know, dress up with your attitude. And it's going to be cool to see Tony, you've introduced me to a lot of people on YouTube, even at the GIE Expo this year. I'm looking forward to seeing people's success and just meeting people.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
And we got a sweet spot this time.
I'm serious. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Hit that expo. If you're even thinking about it, you definitely want to go. There's something about it. It kind of sets your mindset for another full year. It gives you a little edge. Again, your attitude. It'll increase your attitude.
Yeah.
You'll be a little overwhelmed if you're new to this, but on the way out, 2 days later, 3 days later, you kind of got, you know what I mean? You got a little spring in your step. Your chest is out. And it'll help your attitude. It'll help you dress up with your attitude if you get to that expo. Get out there. I want to see you there. When I'm with Tony, come say hi to me.
And a lot of us on YouTube, and even me included, I get that question a lot. People say, hey, it's my second year in business, whatever, first year, you know, whatever.
Right.
And they're like, they asked me, you know, because they seen that me and you, and we've been in most all the YouTube guys been, they asked